Hey y'all. Boy, this is a different front porch view for sure, isn't it? What a mess. That snow's pretty the first day or so, and then it's like, kind of done with it. That old tree's been here since my uncle that owns this place. He just celebrated his 80th birthday last year. He planted this one in high school, and we got nothing but a trunk left. But we're still blessed. Ain't that right, Sissy? For those wondering, the Pyrenees love this weather, and I know they're okay even down to negative temperatures, but rest assured that Sissy is curled up with us in that house there behind that old gas heater. Thankful for that gas heater with no electricity. Got a little trickle on the running water. I imagine we got a leak or two somewhere. But we've been through tougher times, hadn't we? It's pretty, but it's beautifully destructive. Chicken house is, it's there, but I think every pipe in there is busted. We'll take care of that in short order. I was thinking about things like I do. Maybe I should keep some thoughts to myself. But kind of overtook me how pretty this is, and seen a lot of good stuff the last few days in a different part of the country, and a lot of folks are hurt behind this, but it's sure been a blessing in a lot of ways for me. But one thing I did notice, with all the power shut down, there's a lot of folks trapped right now and hurting. But crisis will do one thing for you. It's going to bring out the best in you or the worst in you. I jumped on Facebook a couple of times and rolling around, and kind of been thankful not to keep up with the news lately, and just unplug, decompress, and reconnect with folks you care and love. But through it all, I see a lot of finger pointing about the grid, or this one did that, or this one did that. It reminded me of something my grandma used to say. I'm sure y'all heard it. When you go to pointing fingers at somebody, there's three little peekers under there pointing right back at you. Maybe we need to be a little careful. All right? It shows a little bit of unpreparedness on some folks. I guess that tends to happen when you just take everything for granted. And crisis hit, and you go to scrambling. I've heard a story of a young couple down San Marcos way, in fact, and they're dealing with they're in their 20s, so this might give you a little hope. But they're in an apartment complex, both of them good jobs, good folks, and their particular building wasn't being able to participate in those rolling blackouts. So some of us had some rolling blackouts, had a little power that'd go off and come back on. They didn't. For whatever reason, their building didn't have power at all, and the temperatures didn't get above freezing. They're still not right now, but for the last 4 days in that area, it was below freezing. Things get a little real quick in that scenario. But their heart and their love, that was good stuff. So it started off getting wood in the fireplace, staying warm. I think it got down to 30-something degrees in the little apartment. They didn't worry. Then they tried to help their neighbors, because neighbors didn't prepare, had no wood. So the young man goes out and gathers wood and tries to disperse what he could. That only lasted so long, and then you have to self-preserve a little bit, because you can't help nobody else if you can't help yourself. And this young lady, it broke her heart that they couldn't help more. Sometimes we have to realize that we do have to take care of ourselves, not selfishly, but in a survival mode. But just good stuff to see. I think he was cooking bacon and eggs or whatever in a cast iron skillet on the fireplace, and they was comfortable. They shared what they could, but still had to survive. I know a lot of folks are doing that right now and hurting, but it's temporary. The universe has been here way longer than we have. We just have to learn to adapt and get through it. But I think one of my biggest hurts is seeing people point fingers and holler and complain about it somebody else's fault. Should have done this, should have done that. I guess you have an argument there if you're doing your own part. Do you even know what your neighbors' names are? Can you quote them? Have you talked to them? I doubt it. It's easy to sit there and be cold and maybe even a little hungry. We don't know hungry, y'all. I'm telling you, we don't. We know inconvenient. I think that's what's happening on a lot of levels. There's some people out there sure enough hurting right now. And I'm almost a little scared of the thaw and what we're gonna find out about folks that were neighbors, folks that were complaining, and they didn't go over and check on them and make sure that they was doing okay, especially the elderly and kiddos. So maybe jump off of Facebook with a little bit of power you got left on that phone and go next door and see if everybody's okay. You can get by on a couple of cans of beans. Maybe you could let a couple of them go, right? That's sure gonna get a lot more done than pointing fingers and complaining about what we think we know. Yeah, I guess I'm on a soapbox today. Or snow drift. I don't know. It looks like a soapbox, don't it? Well, we got another dose of concentrated nitrogen on that plowed field. So we're good. We did lose an old rooster. He just couldn't hang. But, that's life on the farm. Goats are all fine. No babies yet. Kind of expecting them to drop in this kind of weather. That's usually how it works, isn't it? The coldest, worst day of the year is when you got to get on husbandry duty and help them babies out. So maybe they'll let me off the hook. Hasn't happened yet. But, a lot of trees down, a lot of cleanup to do. I think everybody's in the same boat. Over the next few days, as things thaw out, I think we'll all see the best that America has to offer if we look for it. I stopped in HEB south of here, and they'd been closed, and they opened up for a little time. People standing in line to get in just to grab a few things to get by. Icy, everything's just a mess. Kind of struck me. COVID went out the window just like that. Nobody's talking about it. Anyway, I know it's serious, but I noticed all the employees that came in, they're hurting at home as well. Got families to take care of, but they come on to work, and everybody was pulling together. Kind of reminded me of September 12th, right? Y'all remember that? There wasn't no complaining. Everybody was short-tempered, but you couldn't tell it. People handing and helping, and yeah, that's what I want to focus on. So I believe I will. Not able to do a live, obviously. The old Wi-Fi is not cooperating right, but that's all right. Maybe it won't cooperate for you, and you can slow down and look that person that you care for and you need to be caring for in the face and talk to them straight instead of texting across the room. You ready to go in the house, girl? Huh? I bet you are. I know you are. She said, I can handle it, but I don't have to, so let's go get warm. Anyway, we got a little cleanup to do, but we're blessed. Boy, I sure am. This whole ice snowstorm is sure special to me in a lot of ways. But time will tell. All right, y'all have a good evening. And, we'll check in when we get a little Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi back. Y'all be the light. Come on, sis.